So here's another way of looking at how to go from your idea to a full working business. And this is based on starting a startup. We discussed how a startup is fundamentally different than a lifestyle online business or a blaze, in the sense that the whole idea of a startup is to eventually raise money, grow as big as possible, and eventually have an exit where you either sell the company, get acquired, or have an initial public offering, which an IPO, and everybody becomes super mega rich. But some of the process of coming up with the idea to growing exponentially are also applicable to starting an online business. So I think it's important to understand how a startup works and how it differs from a lifestyle business, so you have a clear idea of the whole process. So in this diagram, we have that basically what you're going to look is answer the question, am I solving a real problem? So you're going to look up in the future and say, okay, what are the bigger trends? What's going on? What are the markets doing? And then what can I solve? What is missing in the world that I can build? You're going to write it down. You're going to make a prototype, your minimum viable product. Then what you're going to do is start to get feedback by showing it to people. And then you're going to iterate. And then here it says find a co-founder. So some people would argue that before you even start, you should start with somebody. But at this stage, it's early enough that you come up with an idea, and you can decide when you find somebody. But it's very important that eventually, before you raise money, ideally, actually, it's going to be hard for you to raise money or be accepted on incubator if you don't have a co-founder. They have this rule. They don't say if you are a single co-founder, you won't get a chance to be accepted in an incubator or raise money, but it's very unlikely that will happen. There's very few cases where you can start a startup as an individual, because they know that the chances of success already are a lot bigger if you have a co-founder of three people, or three people in the founding team, right? That's the thing I didn't know when I started PointKit. I thought I could do everything myself, and you can see that it's actually an integral step on the process of building a successful startup or any kind of business. Find help. In this case, they say after you've iterated the process and you kind of validated it, find a co-founder, then start your company, which is smart actually. Don't spend money in legal fees or to build a company if you don't even have a validated product. People want to get their business cards, they want to get all their merchandise, their t-shirts and everything, and nobody's buying their product. And then they're like, you're gonna fold your idea, you're gonna close it, you're gonna have all these merchandise and business cards that you never got to use. You get that after you validated your idea. So before you print any business cards or t-shirts or anything or stickers, make sure that you validate your idea. And then once you found those potential paying customers or actual paying customers, go ahead and start your company, because you're gonna start to make money. And it's very important that all your financials are in order, specifically if you're going to raise money. This is not so critical if you're doing a lifestyle online business or a place like I'm doing. But if you're planning in the future to either sell your company or get acquired, then it's very important that your financials are in order, and that definitely that you're incorporated. And in the United States, they say you should incorporate in Delaware as a Delaware corporation. And you can read about it, but that's the startup world. Now, thinking in terms of always thinking, preparing your company to be sold is a good idea, because it just forces you to do things in the proper way and be organized and have all your finances in order. Is always a good idea. So thinking in terms of being a startup, even if you're not, is actually a good idea. So that's why I'm showing you this, just kind of like to see what startups do. Look for funding. This is a step that you would skip, because you're going to bootstrap your way into having a online lifestyle business. Then definitely you're going to officially launch. I guess when you're showing this to 100 people, you're doing like a beta launch or a test, and now you're going to launch officially, a big launch. And then it's all about growing for startups, right? So it says if you launch and people keep coming back, get to 1,000 users, then grow 5% a week. And if you go at that rate, growing 5% a week for the next 4 years, eventually in 4 years, you'll reach 25 million users. And at 25 million users, you're a serious startup, you definitely can have you can be you can exit. It's up to you if you want to exit, but 25 million users, it's a lot. But it's all based on that 5% a week. That's what investors really like, the hockey stick growth curve. If you have a online business, that curve is not going to be as large, especially because if you want to keep it as a one individual company, it's very hard to sustain something that is growing really large. And you don't need it because you only need to make X amount of money, which is anywhere from, let's say, $75,000 to $200,000 a year for yourself, and you're gonna be fine. And then he says, if you're not getting people, what you do, just launch again after iterating until you get enough users coming back. And here it gives you an example of a very successful company right now, Airbnb, who launched actually 3 times in order to start getting enough growth weekly or monthly, right? And now they're a humongous company. It's a very famous success story. So there you go. This is how startups do it. It's somewhat similar to what one-person online business would do, except you don't really need a co-founder. You do need mentors and people to look at your product. You don't need to look for funding, but the rest is pretty much the same. And then you're not looking for a stratospheric growth. But other than that, the process is quite similar. And if you decide to start a startup, well, this is the way you do it. Hey, did you enjoy this video? If you want to see more like this, just subscribe here. If you want a free gift, click here. Yeah. Which one is going to be the one you click? La 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 li 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 li.